Students, let's continue chapter Nationalism in India. I request all of you to make notes in the format of a question answer. So the first question that you will write down today is write a short note on Swaraj Party. Let's understand who formed Swaraj Party. There are two important personalities named C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru. They formed the Swaraj Party within the Congress. Now what were the reasons? Why did they form Swaraj Party? Is they wanted to participate in elections to provincial councils set up by Government of India Act of 1919. And why did they want to participate in elections? Is they want to oppose British policies within councils, and they want to prove that these councils are not truly democratic. Alright, so we have a short topic on Swaraj Party. Next very important topic is Simon Commission. Let's see who formed Simon Commission. A Simon Commission was formed by Tory government in Britain. It was a statutory commission under chairmanship of John Simon, and that's why it's named as Simon Commission. Why was it formed? What was the purpose? To look into the functionalities of constitutional system set up in India under Government of India Act of 1919, and they were also supposed to suggest some changes. Why was it opposed, or why did Indians boycotted Simon Commission? Is because there was no Indian member, they were all British members. When did it come to India? Simon Commission landed in 1928 in Bombay. How did Indians boycotted this? They showcased black flags and shouted the slogans of "Go back, Simon." Alright, so we have 4 to 5 headings under the topic Simon Commission. Now one marker questions are: Irwin in October 1929 offered a dominion status and organized first round table conference, but it was not attended by Congress because Congress didn't accept this dominion status. Alright, and in retaliation, in December 1929, Congress session of Lahore, in that session, two important announcements were made. First, Poon Swaraj was the demand for Poon Swaraj was formalized, and they decided to organize 26 January 1930 as the first Independence Day, and that is why 26 January 1950 was chosen as the date to enact our constitution to mark the importance of this day. Alright, after that Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter to Irwin on 31st January 1930. He stated 11 demands in that letter. Some were general demands and some were specific demands. Very important demand in this letter was to abolish the salt tax. Now why did Gandhiji choose salt as the commodity? Because it was used by rich people as well as poor people. So Gandhiji wanted to ensure the participation of both rich as well as poor. And moreover, there was government monopoly. What I mean by government monopoly is that only government has right to produce salt. So in that letter, Mahatma Gandhiji gave an ultimatum to British government of 11th March that if by 11th March these demands will not be accepted, Mahatma Gandhiji would sought to launch Salt March or Dandi Yatra. And yes, these demands were not accepted, so Gandhiji started Salt March on 12th March 1930 till 6th April 1930. It started from Sabarmati Ashram and ended in Dandi, which is a coastal city of Gujarat. Other highlights of this march were Mahatma Gandhi started this Dandi Yatra with 78 trusted volunteers. They covered the distance of 240 miles in 24 days, and 6th April 1930 is the date, and Dandi is the place where Gandhiji launched civil disobedience movement by breaking the salt laws. So civil disobedience basically means breaking the British laws. Now civil disobedience movement. Abdul Ghaffar Khan was a devout disciple of Mahatma Gandhi. He was arrested in Peshawar. Mahatma Gandhi was arrested. As a result, Sholapur industrial workers attacked the British buildings or government buildings, and ultimately British government repressed all these protests, and due to this violence, Mahatma Gandhiji called off this civil disobedience movement as well. On 5th March 1931, Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed, under which Gandhiji decided to attend second roundtable conference, and Irwin accepted to release the political prisoners. So these two were the provisions of Gandhi-Irwin Pact, which was signed on 5th March 1931. But these negotiations broke down, and Gandhiji decided to relaunch civil disobedience movement which lost its momentum in 1934. Now let's discuss which were the major communities which participated in the civil disobedience movement. So the major role was played by the rich peasant class, especially Patidars of Gujarat and Jats of Uttar Pradesh. Now why did they participate? There was this event of great economic depression in 1929, due to which there were decrease in demands and hence decrease in prices, due to which these rich peasants or business class were facing loss. So they decided to raise the demand of reduction in revenues, which was not accepted by government, and hence they participated in the civil disobedience movement. Poor peasants, their main demand was remittance of unpaid rent, as they were not in condition to pay the unpaid rent. But Congress was apprehensive of the fact that if they would serve the cause of poor peasants or workers, the rich businessman or peasant class or farmers would not participate in that event. So there was limited participation of poor peasants, or you can say working class. Purushottam Das and J.D. Birla were the main personalities or very famous businessman of India at that time. And one marker questions that come up here is one is the formation of FICCI. It was formed in 1927, and another is Indian Industrial and Commerce Congress, which was formed in 1920. And now we have industrial workers, working class. There were some exceptions like wide scale participation in Nagpur, railway workers strike in 1930, dock workers strike in 1932, and Chota Nagpur tin mine workers protest in 1930. And another class that participated in civil disobedience movement was women. They participated on a very large scale in the Salt March. They used to come out of their homes to listen to Mahatma Gandhi ji. But Mahatma Gandhi, it was not able to bring a revolution in the lives of women, because Mahatma Gandhi was of the viewpoint that mothers should serve as ideal mothers or wives. Women should serve as ideal mothers and wives, and Congress also wanted to have symbolic presence of women in these movements. So next topic will be taken up in next class. Cover up these topics in your notes. And one more request is there, students, please don't copy the answers from your refresher books, as that's not going to help you in the longer run. Try to write down answers as well as notes in your own wording. Alright, if you have any problem, you can refer your NCERT textbooks, and still if you are not able to clarify any topic, you can contact me. Thank you.